Welcome to this MF News. In Latin America, the pandemic threatens equality like never before. Over the past 2 decades, inequality in Latin America has fallen to the lowest point in the recorded history. Sandra Abello grew up poor, left school at 11 and spent her teenager years scrubbing floor as a live-in maid. But by this year, something remarkable had happened. Miss Abello, now 39, finally had a home in a decent neighborhood. One of her daughters, Carol, was about to finish high school. Another one, Nicole, was turning 15 and they were planning a party with a big dress and many guests. They were saving for a washing machine. Miss Abello was proud of all she had accomplished. The pandemic hit and Miss Abello lost her cleaning work. By May, she had been evicted, forcing her to move her children into a tin shed in an illegal settlement high above the city. At night, a bitter cold pushed in way in a lifetime of effort had evaporated in a matter of weeks. Miss Abello's oldest daughter, Carol, a speeding nurse, called it the great regression. Not long ago, Colombia, in Latin America more broadly, were in the middle of a history-marking transformation. The scourge of inequality was shrinking like never before. Over the past 20 years, millions of families had marched out of poverty in one of the most unequal regions of Earth. The gap between rich and poor in Latin America fell to its lowest point on record. Now the pandemic is threatening the reverse those gains like nothing else in recent history. Economists say, potentially opening political and entire society for years to come. Seven Colombian soldiers charged in rape of indigenous girl. The charges announced by Attorney General follow years of accusation of illegal killing. The defendants pleaded guilty in a closed hearing. Seven Colombian soldiers have been charged in a rape of a 13 years old indigenous girl, an announcement that has alarmed many in a nation already grappling with the military's long record of abuse, including illegal killing and accusation of sexual assaults. The charges brought on Thursday by Attorney General Francisco Barbosa accused six soldiers of participating in the crime, and no one and one of being an accomplice. All seven pleaded guilty in an initial closed hearing, according to Mr. Barbosa's office. They have disowned the uniform and dignity of childhood in Colombia, he said in a statement. The girl member of Embera community is a student who had been living with her mother and many siblings in the department of Risaralda, in the western part of the country. According to Alejandrina Pastor, an advisor with the Organización Nacional Indígena de Colombia, the association that unites the country's indigenous groups. Ms. Pastor said the assault occurred after the girl disappeared temporarily, sending her family into a panic. The military said the attack appeared to have taken place on Monday. On Twitter, too, Colombia's Army Chief General Eduardo Zapatero condemned any abuse in which soldiers could be involved and said that the reported attack does not represent the ethical conduct of the military. The soldiers have been removed from the armed forces. He added, vowing to throw investigative Moscow into the case.
Okay, thank you, Freddy. Now, let's move on to the international news. A North Korea coronavirus outbreak might be the biggest threat Kim Jong-un has ever faced. The ruling Kim dynasty of North Korea has for decades predicated their regime on the notion that only they can protect the Korean people from the outside world, be that capitalists, the United States, or the other hostile forces. Now, according to Pyongyang, a new threat has arrived, the first publicly reported suspected case of COVID-19 within North Korea's borders. North Korea leader Kim Jong-un convened an emergency meeting Saturday after it was reported that a defector who fled the country 3 years ago had returned to the North Korea city of Kaesong, while possibly infected with coronavirus. According to a state-run news wire KCNA, authorities in South Korea confirmed Monday that a defector had crossed the highly militarized border into North Korea. The South Korea Health Ministry said that man was not a known coronavirus patient or a close contact of one, but local police said the man was being investigated for access crime. KCNA said the defector had symptoms of COVID-19 but did not confirm if he had been tested. Close contacts of the suspected case were being examined and quarantined, but KCNA warned of a dangerous situation developing in Quezon that could lead to a deadly and destructive disaster. Few experts believe that North Korea, a country of nearly 25 million people which shares a border with China, could have escaped the effects of a pandemic that has infected more than 16 million people worldwide and killed nearly 650,000. It's impossible North Korea has simply not identified existing cases due to a lack of testing, or has successfully managed to isolate a small cluster of cases and is not reporting them. But if this defector tests positive and causes a major outbreak, COVID-19 could return into one of the biggest threats Kim has faced in his nearly 9 years of rule. In, in this photo, provided by the North Korean government, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un second left in the background attends an emergency meeting in Pyongyang on Saturday. Now, let's start with the entertainment news. Freddy, what can you tell us about the entertainment news for this week?
Of course, Manuel. So now, coronavirus has been difficult to do everything, but what happened with the festivities in the different countries? So, in Colombia celebrated its festival of St. Peter in a matter of COVID-19. In Colombia, many dance and music artists groups commemorated the festivity as everything has been in the 2020. That's good. The folklore cannot stay aside, despite of the health situation. Ibagué, the Colombian musical capital, celebrated the St. John and St. Peter festivities as usually happens here on June 24th and 29th. This year we being in virtual mode, so as everything. The Colombia Folklore Festival, in company with national and international delegation, accomplished the concourse where the artists with their laughter, choreographies, and allegories, showing the folklore in Colombian life and enjoyable without any obstacle.
Traigan las vacas del río y también las de la loma. Abren las puertas ligero, que ya la manada asoma. Encierren en el corral ese lote de terneros que los vamos a marcar para echarlos al potrero.
The festival was at the same time as frequently it comes rise annually. When all the performance finished, the results were given. Then Tolima was the winner, being represented by the artistic and cultural group Tradición Folkloric, giving the Colombian leader to them for the next year in the international festival. On the other hand, Panama was the country which obtained the first place on the podium in the international festival. Panama was represented by the National Company of Dances Folclóricas de Panama. So that was great. Congratulations for those people. So Manuel, I don't know what do you want to add. So go ahead.
Okay, now in other news, in some of the pieces of international news, we have uh, the problem that the rapper Kenny West is throwing out. The rapper, designer, provocateur may have earned as many critics over the course of his career as he has fans, but West's mental health, which he has been open about, should be observed with sensitivity. His recent interview with Forbes concerning tweets and a press conference in which he made inaccurate statements about Harry Tubman have raised alarms about his current well-being. His wife, Kim Kardashian West, appealed to the better nature of the public last week with a plea for compassion for her husband, who she acknowledged has bipolar disorder. Anyone who has this or has a loved one in their life who does knows how incredibly complicated and painful it is to understand, she wrote in a note posted on her Instagram stories. I've never spoken publicly about how this has affected us at home because I am very protective of our children and Kenny's right to privacy when it comes to his health. But today I feel I should comment on it because of the stigma and misconceptions about mental health, she said. In terms of the spectacle of it all, we have been here before with, but he's not the only celebrity who has confronted such challenges in this fishbowl that is the entertainment industry. And that's all. Thank you for watching us and see you next time. Bye bye.